music.
Oh. Here we go. Okay, watch this.
Oh,
Maybe I should mod it. Happy 4th of July! Wow, look at your lovely bow. They're not bows.
It's not a bow.
They're lovely ribbons though.
I failed on the
Special.
tying it into a bow thing.
But aren't they pretty? What do they do on the 4th of July in America?
Do you know, I'm not sure.
Well,
I think it's
fireworks.
Fireworks.
Yes.
And I don't know, I think it's just like a sort of celebration. I think is it like a mini Christmas? I don't
That's
really
Thanksgiving.
know. I know you have they're so lucky in America. They have so many like different things through the year, don't they? We have like nothing.
I bet they have like special food.
Oh yeah, tell us what you have.
Put it in the notes on YouTube. So in the comments at the bottom, tell us what you have, because I'd love to know. Actually.
Yeah, I would. I'd be interested to know what you have.
And they're celebrating. It's independence, isn't it?
Yeah, Independence Day.
Getting rid of the Brits. Get out. It was all to do with tea as well, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, that's how it started.
Oh, right, I didn't realise that.
Anyway,
welcome to episode
5. We forgot.
We forgot to say.
It's disgraceful. And it has only been 2 weeks.
It has only been 2 weeks.
It seems like longer.
It does actually.
And I need to apologise to anyone who I accidentally teased last weekend, because I didn't mean to, honestly. What I wanted to do was just to get people excited, because we've been doing some filming. So yeah, I really didn't mean to tease anybody. We just did we've souped up the favourite places to knit, because we've changed locations now, so it's a whole new location, and it's going to be for the next 3 episodes. Pretty grand, so I thought let's really go to town on the production. So really hope you like it, and that's coming later.
So who are you?
My name is Obi-Wan Knitter.
Yeah.
Has been for the last 2 weeks now. Thanks very much. You know who you are. So yeah, my name's Obi-Wan Knitter. You can find me on Instagram as Obi-Wan Knitter, and you can find me on Ravelry as Obi-Wan Knitter.
Do you have a real name?
No.
Oh, okay.
That is my name.
That's your name.
And who are you?
My name is Kay. I do have a real name. Not like you.
No.
My username on Ravelry is Bryony Bear, and on Instagram I am Bryony Bears.
I see what you're getting at now. My name is Dan. Hello. Hello everybody.
Hello.
And yes, Kay's worn her ribbons, and I've worn my favourite shirt. Here it is.
That we got this, didn't we, with help from my lovely friend Sally.
Yes.
Our lovely friend Sally.
Yes.
Because it was from an American shop online, and it, oh gosh, what's it called?
Now I warn you, Sally, this year I want another one.
Wants another one.
So Kay will be speaking to you again. I want the real one. This is like a knockoff. It's great though.
It's the t-shirt version, and you want the actual
the version that he
football
wears.
shirt version.
Ice hockey.
Oh, is it ice hockey?
Come on.
Sorry.
Guess the team.
Something Chiefs.
Oh no.
No, something Indians.
No.
It's not a chief and it's not an Indian.
Well, it is. It was a tribe of Indians.
Is that a clue? No, that's not a clue.
Let me show everyone at home.
Chicago. Do they live in Chicago?
Yes.
Chicago.
Yes, you're
Chicago.
close. She's close.
Chieftains.
Oh,
No.
Crumbs. It's the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, I'd never have got that.
It is an ice hockey team.
Right.
And they were, I don't know how good they are now, but they were really, really, really good. And yes, can you name the film? Someone out there can. In fact, 2 people out there can. And I'm sure that more of you can. I'm not going to say any more now, because that's coming up later in the episode. But yeah, I've worn this special. It's my favourite shirt to help celebrate the 4th of July.
Yay.
Yes, so I hope you all have a really good time.
We do.
I'm sure you will. So, competitions. Now, I used the plural there, because yes, we all know about the Bears in the Wild competition.
Yep.
And I need to, there's been some great posts. What was the one that's laid out on the blanket looking up through, and she's so sweet.
Mary Jo. No, it's not Mary Jo, is it?
Oh, that's terrible. I should have, because I've normally we're really good on things like that, and I make notes on all. But you've posted the picture really recently, and we also put a shout out, didn't we, for people to help her find some cheap project bags.
June Marie.
Yes, your bear. I love it, and also Jeffrey really likes your bear. I think if they met, I think they might really get on. What a great bear, and that was a brilliant Bears in the Wild, because she's laid out on a, have you seen it? On a picnic blanket under a tree.
Yeah.
But I just thought I must say as well, thanks to Diane, Wanna Knit Socks, who posted her Star Wars pictures. As we all know, I do like a bit of Star Wars. And
I loved, and Bryony loves as well, the one, and again, I'm really sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Let's see if I can.
Sorry. There was one that was outside the Laura Ingalls house.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, gosh. I would just, I would love to go to, I just, Little House on the Prairie.
I wonder, was she in?
Do you think she was in? Sadly not, no. But I love that whole range of books, and I watched all the series growing up, and I read all the books, and Bryony's actually reading the books now. She's on the second one. She's on Little House on the Prairie.
That was Michael Landon played her dad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She read Little House in the Big Woods, and I think that's one of my favourites, but I really like The Long Winter, where I'd nearly said literally, where it's a long winter, and you know they're stuck in their little house, and I love it, and they get like their Christmas barrel in May or something, and it's still got the frozen turkey in the bottom.
Christmas barrel in May?
Yeah.
That's like Knitting Den.
Christmas, yeah, it is. Christmas in July. They had, I think it was May, Christmas barrel in May they got, So they had like a turkey dinner and everything in May.
Don't you dare bark. Sorry, carry on. Carry on.
We love Denise.
We do.
I love Denise.
Carry on, sorry. Yeah, the Laura Ingalls books I love, and I used to watch the TV programme. I've read a bit of them. They're quite full on.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're talking about how they're preserving stuff.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I mean, Little House in the Big Woods has got a whole section on how they slaughtered the pig and
how they preserved it. And
the children played with the bladder
bits.
and blew it up into a balloon and chewed on the tail and things. But Bryony read it and was intrigued and loved it.
So Bears in the Wild is seriously hotting up. I think we should just have a quick recap of the prize.
Okay.
Because the prize is rather cool. And the prize will be it will be chosen by Bryony.
Yes.
She will look for her favourite, and we will do that in very early August. There it is. Now, is that a beaded zip? I can't even say it.
Is it a zeeded bupper pill?
That's it. A zeeded bupper pill. If you're wondering what we're talking about, I advise you, when you finish watching this podcast, to go and look up Knitting Den, the Knitting Den podcast on YouTube, and look at her latest episode, and you'll see why we're laughing. So from now on, that is a...
It's not beaded anyway.
But just, if it was, it would be
a zeeded bupper pill.
Excellent. Excellent.
So there's the bag, which is already, in a little bag for whoever.
Whose address will go on there?
Whose address will go on it?
Only Bryony knows.
Only Bryony knows.
How exciting.
Yeah.
But as we're running into July, and we're coming up, I suppose, 3.5 weeks to go on that competition?
Yeah.
We thought we'd better start another.
Well, we're not starting it till the 1st of August, but we'll let you know.
Tell you about another.
What we're going to do. And it's inspired, actually, by Denise of the Knitting Den, because she does every July, she's got a bag shop, Kiki Boo bags, and they're lovely bags, and every July she does a little Christmas in July sale. She makes a load of Christmas bags and sells them, and I got one. I managed to get one, and I was worried with the time difference that I'd forget, because we've been watching 24, haven't we, again, and I just get so into it, and we sit there knitting, watching 24, and Jack Bauer's doing his business, and so to speak. And I knew that it was 7 o'clock our time, but then I got confused and thought it was 9 o'clock at night. And then I remembered at 9:20, and I was like, I've totally missed it. But there was a couple left, and I managed to get one with cute little Christmas sausage dogs on. It's really cute. So it's inspired by Denise, really, and I kind of always start doing my Christmas knitting in the middle of summer. I'm very unseasonal. I tend to like to do things like that. So we just thought it would be fun to kind of follow on. She does a Christmas in July knit along that runs for the whole of July. So we thought, right, okay, let's do a similar thing for August. So from the 1st of August, we're going to run a new knit along. We're going to call it Getting Ahead of the Game. And basically, we just want you to knit any gift that you planned on knitting for Christmas for anyone. It can be as big as you like, it can be as small as you like. We'll open a chatter thread and a finished objects thread. We'll not do that obviously till the 1st of August. So we just wanted to give you a heads up on what we're going to be doing so you can start having a think.
All anyone is thinking is, what is the prize?
What's the prize?
Yes.
And I thought about this a week or so ago. I thought, it might be fun to do this. So what I've done is I've put together a little kit, a little bear kit.
Look, it's the same colours.
Yeah, well, I was thinking 4th of July. So what I've done is I've put in here, do you like my posh Sainsbury's? So I've put in here a skein of Cascade 220, which is one of my favourites for bears, and this is I think it's just called beige, this colour.
Beige?
Beige.
Yes.
Beige.
Say entrepreneur.
Oh, I can't say it. I can't say it. It's just impossible.
I'll try saying nuclear.
Yeah.
Did I succeed?
Yeah.
Excellent.
But it still sounds weird. He always used to say nuclear.
Nuclear.
And then what I've done, moving on, I've put in here, it's about half a ball of each of the King Cole bamboo cotton that I use, and I've skeined them up into little things in red, white and blue for you. So you can do a boy or a girl. I think they're sort of gender neutral, those colours. So yeah, I've put in Cascade 220 in beige, red, white and blue for the clothes. And then I've also put in just a tiny bit of the brown 4-ply for the nose, and also some beads for the eyes, and 2 choices of buttons, some red ones and some little heart ones.
Now I wonder.
That's going to be the prize.
There should be an extra little surprise gift.
Should there?
In there, which hopefully we'll be able to show you on this episode. Say nothing more.
Yes.
We're very, very excited.
If the postman comes
Beyond excited.
While we're recording. So that's the prize. I thought that was really cute to do.
Super cute. Yeah. So what is that again? Just remind me. That is a Bakery Bears...
It's a Bakery Bear kit. And, I mean, it takes about I worked it out to be just over half a skein of the Cascade 220 to make a bear, but I mean, you might just get 2 bears out of that, and I'm sure you could easily get 2 lots of clothes out of that. I've put 4 beads in.
You could make a boy and a girl.
You could. I think there might just be enough, and you might even have, a little bit of this Cascade 220 lying around, just in case you run out on the second bear, for the final little bit. So, ta-da, there you go, there's the prize. And I will package it nicer than that. I'll just put it in that to keep it sort of dust free and clean. So there we go, that's the next knit along we're going to be doing. We've got to decide what we're going to do.
I have to knit something.
You have to knit something, yeah. Christmas
a bauble.
Gift. A bauble. You could. I've got a pattern queued. And it's called, you can knit Christmas decorations as well if you want to. And it's called Wesley Bobs.
I shall knit Wesley Bobs.
Wesley Bobs. Can you remember when...
Could you make a bear and can we call it Wesley Bobs?
Wesley Bobs.
Wesley Bobs. Wesley Bobs bear.
Wesley
Excellent.
Bobs. And Wesley Bobs is an old Yorkshire saying. That's what we used to call Christmas decorations when I was little. And I'd forgotten we used to call them that. And my do you not know?
I don't know. Go on.
Do you think I'm making this up?
I do not think you're making it up.
There's a pattern in my queue, if anybody wants to have a look. And I think I can't remember the name of the designer, but it's called Wesley Bobs.
The designer is called Wesley Bobs?
No. The pattern is called Wesley Bobs, and they're baubles. They're like Fair Isle baubles. And it just reminded me, when the pattern came out a few months ago, it totally reminded me that that's what we always used to call Christmas decorations.
Right.
My mum always used to say, you're putting the Wesley Bobs on the tree.
That's insane.
And I did look up actually where it came from, the saying, and I can't remember now. I did at the time research it. And it's a really cute pattern. So I might knit a couple of those.
We had at Christmas. And I think my mum still has these. We had these giant baubles. They were lametta.
Oh right.
So you fold them open. They would lay flat.
Yeah. And you pulled them up and hung them from the ceiling.
You would fold them open.
Yeah.
Great big ones.
We had those.
And you used to hang them from the ceiling.
Yeah.
They were massive. And the only reason why I mentioned it was we're obviously talking lots about Christmas, but whenever I used to open those, the smell that used to come out just used to make me think of Christmas.
I
used to love it. I'm sure my mum still has those.
She probably does. She never throws anything away.
She doesn't. And lametta, I think, would still be here after
it would.
a Holocaust.
I don't think it's biodegradable, is it? No.
Certainly not. So new competition. Starting on the 1st of August.
1st of August.
Super exciting.
So we'll talk about it more as we get closer to the 1st of August. But it just gives you a chance to have a think about what you want to knit.
And you can totally warm up over at Knitting Den podcast. Get over there.
Yeah.
Get in the Christmas vibe. Christmas in July.
Yeah. Anyway.
Guess what?
What time is it?
New section.
Oh, okay.
New section.
New section.
Yes. Bakery Bears out and about.
Ah, okay.
So we have been and are going to go to some knitting, what are they called? Knitting fairs?
It's a wool festival, isn't it?
It's a wool festival. We're going to be going to 2 or 3 of these over the course of the next few months. So we thought what we would do is we would do a little feature on them, tell you about them, show you some pictures, see some of the wool, see some of the things that are there, and maybe get a flavour for what they're like here compared to what they're like in other parts of the country and also other parts of the world.
Yeah.
So Woolfest.
Woolfest.
What about it?
It's held in Cockermouth, which is in Cumbria. For those who are in the UK, you'll know where Cumbria is.
Lake District.
Lake District.
And who wrote all her books there?
Well, Beatrix Potter used to. Yeah.
So they'll know.
Her house was there.
Everyone will know
Yeah.
Beatrix Potter.
It's a beautiful part of the country actually, and it's held in a huge cattle market. We drove up there, and it's a lovely drive, isn't it? It's really nice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as busy as last year, and I think that's because there's a new yarn festival that started last year called Yarn Day,
Which we went to.
And I think people are holding out for that. To be honest, it just wasn't as busy, I noticed, and I heard a few people saying that actually as well. Some of the stall holders said it wasn't as busy as last year. But we had a really good time, and you didn't buy anything.
No, I mean, we'll just talk about some of the stalls. There was a great, what was that colour, the one where you bought loads from?
Easy Knits. Easy Knits is a UK dyer. He's called John, and his colours are just absolutely fantastic. Really vibrant, bright colours, and his stall just, you're drawn to it just because the colours are just so amazing.
I think that was the only stall
that really grabbed you, yeah.
Really, but was I right in thinking that it was mainly sock yarn?
Yeah. Yes, he does. Lots of 4-ply. There was some DK. Yeah, I mean you could knit sweaters out of the 4-ply, but it is more sock yarn and sort of one skein projects, I think, anyway. So I bought a couple of skeins there.
Why don't you show?
Shall I show now?
Let's have a look.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only one I think that excited me even remotely. And you'll be seeing pictures now. I took quite a few pictures and a bit of film there, I think, too. But let's have a look. What did you get?
This one I've already used some of it, and you'll see what on my finished objects. But this is his Twinkle base. It's 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina.
What's stellina?
The sparkle.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's metal, I think, basically.
Right.
And the colourway is Unicorn Dreams. And Brian, I said to Brian, it does look just like that. That's maybe where he's got the colour from.
It's so fluffy.
I
could die.
And I said to Brian, right, you've got a task. You've got to find the prettiest skein of yarn you can, and I'll make you something out of it. So she was like, oh, she's really excited by this. She went hunting, and she chose this one.
What I think is quite funny
And you
is
see the sparkles. I hope you can see the sparkles.
super beautiful.
Look at that. It's lovely. So that's
What else?
That's one of the ones I bought, and then I bought this I actually got this from my friend Sally. I always pretend that I'm shopping with Sally whenever I go to places where there's yarn.
Is that person I see you talking to who's not really there?
What?
You know, you turn around and you talk to someone stood behind you.
I just imagine that you're there, Sally. I wish you were. So I picked this up for Sally, and this again is...
We need a Sally hologram.
There's no sparkle in this one. It's merino nylon, high twist. It's 2-ply, and it's the colourway. Well, no, I think it's the range is called OMG, and this is colour number 32 in that range. And I hope the colours come up. No, it's just looking dark.
It won't do because I'm going to lighten this up.
Are you? Oh, well, I hope you can kind of see what the colours are. It's beautiful. There's all different shades of green, turquoise, purple, running into like a sort of brownie, and really pretty teals. So I got that one for Sally. So I'll be posting that.
Does she know?
Yes, I'll send her a picture of it.
She does now.
She does now. I sent her a picture of it. So I bought those two from Easy Knits.
Let's talk about some more stalls, shall we?
Yeah, what else was there?
There was there was that one around the corner.
Yeah, we did find
but
one.
They were about...
It was very expensive, and I don't, having never bought handspun, because Deborah kindly gifted it to us, I kind of expected it to be
like Deb's.
On a par. Well, no, the price range, I kind of expected it to be on a par with a skein of hand dyed. And maybe I'm completely wrong, because I suppose, with Deb, I think she dyes it and spins it, so there's more of a process there, isn't there? But the ones we were looking at were like £32 a skein, which in dollars might be sort of $50-ish, and I was like...
It didn't look like $50 worth of yarn, though.
No, and it did have some silk in it, I think. But even so, I was just like, I can't really justify spending £32 on a skein of yarn.
We're definitely the type of people, though, where if we see quality, we will pay for it.
Yeah.
So I think that says something about.
And it didn't look as nice to me as Deb's. So we didn't buy any of that, did we? It was very pretty, but we didn't buy any of that. And then the only other thing I bought, we went to a stall, and it was Pearlescence yarns, and they have an online shop, and I think I have bought from it before, but I saw this hung up, and I've wanted some of this yarn for a while. I've seen it in Loop at London, but again, I've never bought it because Loop is very nice, but you do pay a premium, and this was actually, I think, £3 or £4 cheaper than Loop was. So I got some, and it's the Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock, and it's merino nylon.
Now that name, that makes me think it's going to be really hard wearing.
Well, yeah, you would think. Yeah, I mean, I looked up the projects on Ravelry, and they all knit up really nice. It didn't look like it pooled, me and pooling. And this is the Snapdragon colour. And this, it's my sort of colours. It's bright pinks, running into the undyed, running into, like a limey green. It's really, really pretty. So I got that one. And that's all I bought.
Hey.
Yeah, we had a lovely day.
Parking was good, which is very different to Yarndale.
Very different to Yarndale.
I pray to the god of knitting that they resolve the parking issue this year, because it took me to the edge of sanity. They
didn't expect the amount of... I think Woolfest on average gets about 6,000 people over the 2 days. And there's lots of parking. There's a huge field behind that they take over for the parking, and they have people directing you to spaces, and it wasn't a problem at all, was it?
No.
Whereas Yarndale was, oh my gosh, I think it's a much smaller... I think it's a smaller venue. It's a cattle market, but it is a smaller venue, and the parking around it, there wasn't as much. It's in a town, so there wasn't, the fields or anything like that. And I looked online, and it said they actually had 6,500 visitors to Yarndale over the 2 days, so more than Woolfest. And like I said, it was just the parking and the queues to get in. So I think this year, we went on the Saturday before, and I think this year we might go on this. Sorry, we should have said, Yarndale's in Skipton in North Yorkshire. It is a really pretty market town.
And it's in September, isn't it?
It's September, towards the end of September. I can't remember the exact date, 26th or something like that.
Yarndale, though, I had a thought at Yarndale, and I'd been throwing it around in the forum. We should have a teddy bear's picnic.
Oh, with bakery bears.
People who were part of the group.
Yeah.
Just go on to. We'll obviously start a thread on the Bakery Bears podcast forum on Ravelry, and go onto the group if you like the sound of this.
Yeah.
You could just come with your bear, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You have to bring your bear, either Mr. or Mrs. Bakery Bear. We will know each other because we will have our bears prominent. And then we should just have a sit down and have a little coffee and a picnic. That would be amazing.
That would be fun.
We've got to do that.
Actually, there is sort of grassy areas outside Yarndale, and people were having picnics out there.
Oh,
so
do we all bring something?
Yeah, I mean that's probably the best idea, isn't it?
Because the food was pretty dodge at Yarndale.
The food, the facilities, and I'm hoping they improve this for this time. All I would say is if you're going to Yarndale, go prepared. Take your own food.
And we have a plan.
So
because we all bring something.
Yeah.
And then we sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
We have a big picnic outside.
We should do that. Picnic.
We should just say to people, right, we'll just, it's 12 o'clock.
Spread the word, people.
We'll go outside and we'll set out our blanket and picnic. And if anybody sees us, because there was a couple of people who saw us at Woolfest
but
and didn't come and say hello.
Please come and say hello. Lee and Linda.
She said she saw hello. You can't miss Dan. He's 6'5". No, he's 6'5".
In my heels.
You can't miss him really. And a man at a Wool Festival again is, I don't think you're missing. So that's maybe what we should do. Like say at 12 o'clock, we'll be outside, rain, holding off or weather permitting, and we'll have a little blanket picnic.
If we do some Bakery Bears out and about shooting,
you're
going to be on a podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll get to meet your bears, and we can also have a quick chat as well, which would be super cool. There's a plan for Yarndale. So I think that is the end of our first Bakery Bears out and about. Who knows where we'll be next? Hopefully we can be we will be somewhere. We should do a Bakery Bears out and about at Chatsworth.
Oh yes, Chatsworth 4 weeks today, people. We'll be travelling there.
Big time. That'll be exciting.
We will. Yeah.
Kay Jones. What? I don't know.
What are you going to say?
Nothing. What's on your needles?
Well, what's on my needles? The first thing is my featherweight. I'm knitting on it.
Are you ever going to finish that?
No. Well, I have a plan. I get to a stage.
Does it involve frogging?
No. I did consider that.
Or hibernation?
No, I considered both of those things last night. I'll be honest, I'm not a big garment knitter. That sounded wrong. I'm not.
Do you like knitting small garments?
A small garment. I was going to say I'm not a huge garment knitter and that sounds the same way, doesn't it?
It's up for the neighbours.
Yeah. But I don't knit a lot of garments. That's another way of putting it.
Unless they're for bears.
Yeah. I do. I've knit, I think, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5. I've knit 5 jumpers, cardigans, sweaters. And 2 of them I've given away. One of them I stuck in the charity bag because it was just my first one and it was really dreadful. One of them I do wear. No, 2 of them I do wear. So anyway, I don't knit a lot of garments. But the thing is, I really want them. I really want the finished product. So I started this featherweight because I just really wanted a lightweight cardigan. And then like you do when you start a project, you're all guns blazing and knitting on it loads and loads. And then I just kind of lost momentum because it's just now miles and miles of stockinette stitch. But I was knitting on it last night and I thought, right, I'm going to come up with a plan. And this is what I tend to do when I've got big things to knit, is I work out, how many rows per inch, how many inches I've got to knit, how long it takes me to knit an inch, and break it down like that and work out how much I have to knit every day to have finished the body in 2 weeks or whatever. So that's what I did, and I worked out last night I've got 8 rows in an inch, and I can't remember how many more inches I've got to go. Quite a lot because I want it long. But I worked out that I should have finished the body in like 13 days or something if I knit 8 rows a night, which takes me just over an hour, maybe an hour and a quarter. So, you know, some nights I only get an hour's knitting, so but I still should be able to do it. So fingers crossed I will have finished the body by the next podcast, and it's all inside out and upside down at the moment because I'm in the middle of a row. But you can sort of see how far in out. I'm almost finished with this creamy coloured stripe. So that's the first thing on my needles, and I'm knitting it with Madeline Tosh Merino Light in Antler and Posy. So fingers crossed. And then I've still got the sleeves to do, and I've still got to pick up all the way around. I will do it. Dan Jones, what's on your needle?
It's our joint blanket.
Yay.
Which we're loving. No more short rows, people.
No, you've got it down now, haven't you?
Well, maybe. Yeah, it's cool. We're really enjoying this. Doing something together is just super cool, and I know it's going to mean, you know, like I can see in 10 years it being 20 years being the treasured blanket, a family heirloom even.
Yeah.
And the red is beautiful.
It's lovely. It reminds me, actually, that colour red, of Mad Tosh Tart.
And this is Cascade 220, isn't it? So this is just like the bear clothes, is it?
The bare bodies.
The bare bodies.
Bare bodies.
So, yeah, it's lovely. It's 270 stitches.
270 stitches, size 5mm needles.
And we're not knitting it in the round, of course. So
just
yeah,
plain old garter stitch.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's
and
great.
I knit a few rows the other night, didn't I? And then you saw me knitting on it, and you wanted to knit on it.
Well, I wanted to knit on it anyway, but I've been a bit caught up in a project, which you'll see later. What's on your needles, Kay Jones?
Next thing.
I changed it up. Did you see that?
You did.
No, we can't have that. Kay Jones,
what's on your needles? The next thing I'm knitting on is actually a secret Christmas thing, and I shouldn't be doing it, should I, till August? But
Can we see it?
Well, I was thinking maybe if we got the person just to close her eyes for a minute, I could show you the yarn, and then because she doesn't, I can just show you the yarn if we say.
Right. Okay.
So
No. Sally. Stop it. Shut them. No, stop peeking.
Close
right, she's closed. You're cool.
I won't say what the pattern is or anything like that, obviously, but I'll show you the yarn.
No, hold on. She just opened. Turn around. Right.
Close your eyes and I'll tell you when to open them,
So she's
Sally.
fine. She's turned around.
So here's the yarn, everybody. Oh, can you see it? Hang on, let me move it that way. Oh, yeah, you can see it now. Oh, is it beautiful? And let me tell you, this is like heaven to Sally. It's absolute heaven to knit with. So that's what I'm knitting with. I can't tell you what it is. Hang on, I can show you the start of it. Here's the start of it, so people can probably guess the kind of project it is. Looky. It's really, really pretty, and oh my goodness. So let me pop it away. Okay, Sally, you can open your eyes again. We're back. So that's that one. Is it you next? Dan Jones, what's the next thing on your needles?
No.
What?
Do it again.
Dan Jones, what's on your needles?
Here it is. I won't bore you with this too much because it's been on the go a while, I know, but some people may not have seen it, some new viewers. So yeah, it's my honey cal, and Kay dropped on me the other day that this is a twin skein cal. Is that what you called it or something?
A twin skein cowl.
Well, that's a skein, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you told me you have to use 2 of them.
You do.
So it's a twin skein cal.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
It's like a new thing.
Is that not a thing?
No, I've never heard anybody say that.
What would someone say?
It's just a 2 skein project. I don't know.
Let's call it a twin skein cal. I like that. Do you like that? So yeah, I mean, it's been on the go a while.
You
I
have
love
worked
knitting
on it there recently, so.
because of something else.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in a minute. But it's lovely yarn.
It is.
I cannot remember anything about it. It's okay. Over to you.
It's Countess Ablaze. I've got the tag, I think.
In pink?
Countess Ablaze. It's Merino DK, although it's more like a worsted, I think. That's her little tag. And the colourway is called Tiffany's Lipstick.
And I think the advice, this is by far the best yarn I've used to make one of these, and I've made a few, and I think it's because it's not scratchy remotely.
No, it's beautiful.
So for wearing, it will be lovely.
Yeah, and you that's a single ply. I think that's the first time you've knit with a single ply, maybe.
What we could do with is, or what I could do
it's
with...
coming out more red on there. It's pink. It's bright
I
pink.
could do with this. I could do with one of these in like a blue.
Well, that should be our task then, to get you yarn.
You have to make it for me.
Oh right, okay. I gave you some yarn recently, didn't I? Those.
Yes.
To knit yourself something with.
Yes. Well, maybe I'll do something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jones, what's on your needles?
Next on my needles is... It's all about socks at the moment with me.
It's all about the socks.
It's all about the socks. And I finished the first of Dan's socks, the opal socks. And seriously, look how long that foot is.
Yes. Celtic Lucas.
Celtic Lucas said he thinks he's got a bigger foot than Dan.
Not that this is a competition.
Not that it's a competition, but I'm challenging you, Celtic Lucas, to measure your foot. Because Dan's foot from heel to toe is 12.5 inches long. Anybody with a bigger foot than that, I would be,
When I was at school, I had a pair of shoes, and I'm not joking now. On the side of the shoes, it said kayak. Can you imagine the grief I used to get? But it wasn't spelt K-A-Y-A-K. It was spelt C-I-A-K. It was a little metal badge on the side of the shoe. It was a brand of shoe called Kayak. People used to have a right go at me.
Anyway, I finished one huge sock, and I don't do the cuff. I do the cuff like 5 inches just to make sure I've got enough yarn to do the 2 pairs.
Lucas was asking for advice on making big socks. He was saying, do you need 2?
No, you can.
Skeins?
I can, as long as I only do the cuff like 5 inches. I've got enough in a ball of opal. The opal are quite long balls. I think it's like 460 yards or something. Hang on, I'll tell you. It is 425 metres. So I think that's about 450 yards, something like that. So they're long. They're long skeins, and I weighed this one and it was like 46 grams, so I know I've got enough to knit the other one. So I finished one, so it's just 72 stitches, and then I used the sort of template from Snape's Stockings, Erica Luda pattern, but I just knit it plain, and I knit the foot, and I do it in row numbers now because I've written down how many rows of each I need, and I know it's the right size for Dan. I think it's all together, there's 135 rows to get to the toe.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would it be possible to knit a sock in some material, in some yarn, fibre, whatever you want to call it, that was like a summer sock? So it was like...
It's funny you say that actually, because I've got a skein of yarn back there that's cotton, that's got a lot of cotton in it.
Can we see it? Is it that colourful one there?
Yeah, it's this one. I was deciding what sock to cast on next for me, and this one has got 39% cotton.
Where's this from?
I got this online ages ago, I can't remember. But I have got another skein of opal do one that's got cotton in, and I've got some in my stash but it's like in like orangey colours that might be good for you.
Because you could make like a short sock.
Yeah. And I've never knit socks that's got a cotton content, so I'll get onto that in a minute. So
how would that change the knitting process?
Not a jot.
Would it just take longer?
No, it wouldn't make a difference.
But wouldn't the yarn be smaller?
No.
Oh.
Next question.
Okay.
And I've started the second one. So
lovely.
That's that one. So I want to finish those before we go away. I mean, it's 4 weeks, so I can't see that being a problem. Dan Jones, what's on yours?
Okay, at last.
Yay.
It has begun.
Don't drop your stitches.
No short rows. Here is sock number 2, 4K. Sock number 1 is in here too, which I finished a little while ago. I meant to get straight on with sock number 2. There's sock number 1.
I should put it on, shouldn't I? Because I haven't got any socks on at the moment. I'll show you.
So there's sock number 1. Here's sock number 2. We took real time to make sure that it matched up, didn't we?
Ta-da!
Okay, there we go. Beautiful. And I do have to say, for those of you who are new to sock knitting, once you've done one, the second one is rattling along.
And I've got to say, you know, because on the first one, everybody knows he's done magic loop. But
ladders, baby.
He was getting ladders.
I had real tension issues.
But, you know, we sorted it, and, I mean, I'll show you. You can see, I don't know if you can, oh yeah, you can just see, can you see you've got just a ladder there? And then when I noticed it, I showed him what he should be doing, and he corrected it. And now, on this one, it's absolutely, you know, I couldn't have done a better job myself.
Well, I don't know about that.
Can you see? Look, no ladders. Really good.
Do you know, I'm utterly convinced it is about, in music, I'm a musician, I've been all my life, and a music teacher. It's feel, and feel in music is what makes us get up and dance. If a song's got feel, then it has, you know, those songs that you listen to and it gets you in your chest, and everyone's different. That's why it's so exciting, music. I think you have to knit a sock with feel. You need to, something that is getting all a bit
emotional.
Deep here. But if you get in that zone, I feel like I'm in the same zone when I'm doing this. For example, in my opinion, I went through the same process when I knit the first sock, but I didn't have the feel. I didn't have it in here. This time, I've got more of an idea of the feel, so it's flowing more, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
Confidence and belief is a big thing.
It is, yeah.
You just need to believe you can do it.
And I only started knitting socks, it'll be 2 years ago, and in fact, shall I show you the first pair of socks I ever knitted? They're right behind me. Excuse me a secondo. This is the first pair of socks I ever knit.
They're awful. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Isn't he terrible? I have to live with this.
Oh, look at the pooling and the ladders. And you're joking.
And I knit these on DPNs because I thought
they're pretty impressive, actually.
And I did these for Bryony.
Are they B stocks? Do they still fit it?
No.
Oh,
there we go. You can see. And I used Malabrigo sock, which, you know, is not really recommended actually for socks. I didn't know at the time because there's no nylon in it. But, you know, they didn't even fit her for that long, bless her, because her feet just grow so quickly. So it didn't, you know, there's no holes or anything in them, and they still look really good. And, you know, a little foot, it wouldn't go in here anymore. But I love these little socks, and, you know, I've got a whole, I mean, they were the first pair I ever made, and I'm quite proud of those. I think they're pretty good. But this is the first pair of socks I ever knit down. Oh, I know.
They're great socks.
I'm sorry, I'm twisted totally the wrong way now.
Couldn't you darn them?
Well, you could. But then the problem is because there's no nylon in, the same thing will happen again, I'm pretty sure. But can you see? Look at that. And it's a Gansey pattern that's on there. And I used Madeline Tosh sock. I mean, what an idiot. I know.
Why are you an idiot?
Because there's no nylon in it.
But the name of the...
It's called Tosh sock, I know. And this is what's kind of, I think, you know, should yarn manufacturers call something like Malabrigo sock?
Can I ask why
sock?
That's called Madeline Tosh sock?
That's the name of it. It's Madeline Tosh. And it's Tosh sock.
S-O-C-K?
Yes.
And you shouldn't knit socks with it?
Well, I don't think so. Because this is what, I mean, you wore these for 6 months, and that's what happened.
Genius. And I've got socks that I've worn for much longer than that, which are just fine.
And this one hasn't gone yet, but when I noticed that one had gone, I stopped you wearing them, didn't I?
Yeah.
And the amount of work in these socks, you can see where they're going. You know, it's on the spot where socks always go. But the amount of work in these socks, you know, was unbelievable. The Gansey is a beautiful pattern. Look, can you see? So, you know, he can't wear them, and, you know... Yeah, I don't know how we got onto that tangent.
Is that everything on your needles?
No, I've just got one more thing. Shall I show just quickly?
Yeah. Kay Jones?
Sorry.
No.
Tangent.
Kay Jones, what's on your needles?
The last thing is another sock, and wrong bag. I've already been in that bag. Right, it's a Bagapalooza. Last project is a Christmas sock for Bryony. I'm getting ahead of the game, people. And Sally, my lovely friend Sally, Grammy Bug, gifted me this sock yarn. I think she'd got 2 skeins of it, so she gave one to me. And it's Vespa. Now, Vespa sock yarn is another 100% wool, no nylon.
Right.
Yeah, it's called Vespa sock yarn.
Right.
And a lot of people do knit socks with it, but and Sally said this to me, it's a very thin fingering, and everybody will know this who's knit Vespa. So I'm not worried about it being 100% merino, because they're for Bryony, and she's not heavy on her socks at all. You know, she wears them around the house as kind of slippers. So from that point of view, I'm not worried about it. But it is a very thin fingering, and I went down a needle size to 2.25. But I'm getting ladders. I said to Sally the other day, oh my gosh, I'm getting ladders. And I think it even needs to be, it doesn't show it does show a little bit, look.
You're getting ladders?
Yeah.
I can help with that.
I'm hoping it'll block right out, as they say. But now I'm conscious of it.
You need to knit your socks with feel, Kay.
Yeah.
From in here.
So this is the first one. And it's called Winter Mint. And it's red and green and
That's a great
natural.
name. That totally makes me think of the sweets from
yeah,
Elf.
Yeah.
Knitting Wolf, it's Elf.
Yeah, it's very...
Yes.
And do you know what? I was going
But the children love the books.
I was going to break the yarn after I'd done the heel, to keep the stripes going, and it matched up exactly when I got back round. I couldn't believe it. That won't happen again on sock 2, will it? So that's the other thing on my needles. So no rush for that, because it's, for Christmas. So, and that's everything on my needles.
Excited face. No, that looks like pained face.
It does.
Last episode, we started What's on Your Needles, where I pick 3 people who've engaged with me through the 2 weeks between episodes and ask you what's on your needles. And what you have to do, if I challenge you, is you have to get over to the Bakery Bears podcast forum on Ravelry, and you need to go into the What's on Your Needles thread, and you need to show us what's on your needles. So who is it going to be this week? I've got to say, Kay, last episode I challenged people to engage, and it's been a flood.
Yeah,
it's been so challenging to pick, and I'm so sorry to the people who I don't challenge, but please do just go over and share anyway. But please keep engaging with me, because it could be you next time. There have been 3 standouts though, and the first one, who is it going to be? The excitement's building. Is it you? Is it you? No, it's you, Ting Ting Lou. Ting Ting Lou, what's on your needles?
Yay! Ting Ting!
Yay!
We love Ting Ting.
Ting Ting sent me a massive message. In fact, she sent me 2 or 3 these last 2 weeks. And there's been a few different things going on, and she's just been so lovely. And one of the things that she's doing, which really sealed it for us, is she's doing a swap with Kay.
Oh, she's so sweet. She wanted to send me one of the Starbucks mugs. She's near Detroit.
Ann Arbor.
She's in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think she said she'd send me a Detroit mug.
Yeah.
Yes. And gosh, how kind. And I was resistant to it, because I know how much shipping is from the US to here. It's just it gets me so mad that shipping is so much. And she really wanted to do it, so I said, look, I'll only do it if I can send you one of my bags. And then that way it's kind of like a little swap. So we agreed to do that. So Ting Ting, I've mailed your bag. And I know she said it's 4th of July, obviously. So she said she was going to, mail the mug afterwards. And there's obviously no rush at all. So your bag's in the post. And, thank you so much. And Bryony loves your name. And I said to you in a message, she thinks it's like the coolest name ever, Ting Ting.
But also, we love her knitting.
You're knitting. If you've not looked, I mean, go over and look at Ting Ting's Ravelry page. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Ting Ting. I'm sure you won't. Just some beautiful, absolutely beautiful projects. And she's done a bakery bear, and
It's
you know,
just amazing.
Jeffrey
is smitten.
Yeah, it is beautiful. And it's just
He wants to marry
the
your
quality
bear.
of her knitting is fantastic. So
Amazing stuff.
yeah.
Who is next?
Who's next?
Now, this period between the last episodes, between episode 4 and episode 5, I did a little test on Instagram. I posted a picture and I challenged the first person to tell me the name of the movie that this shirt comes from. And I don't think we've actually said, have we? But I'm sure there's loads of you shouting at the screen.
Yeah.
One person, though, came back within a minute of me posting this shirt, and I love this film a lot. I've loved it my whole life.
We all do, don't we?
We now have it on Blu-ray, and it's just, I adore it. And yeah, my wish this Christmas is to have the proper shirt.
You want the proper one,
Sally and Kay.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap,
It's like
but it's not bad. But
$180.
they won't ship to the UK, which is why I ask for Sally's help. Because I get it shipped to Sally and then Sally posts it to me.
So who is the person who got the name of this shirt, the film, that this shirt comes from, in 60 seconds?
Who was it?
You know who it is. I wonder if she's all excited, looking at the screen.
She knows it's her.
Sarah, another crafty girl. Yes,
Yay!
it's you. What's on your needles? So it's the last of the 3. I wish there could be more, but there's one person this week who's done something for me this week that no one has ever done before, not even Kay. And it's perfect timing because I now know how to read these things. I think that person might be guessing who it might be. He's also, if I was to grow a beard,
You'd look kind of like him.
and we were to put up a picture either side of the screen, maybe I should do that. The thing is, I struggle with beards. The few times it's grown a bit, because I get quite hot.
You do get hot.
In fact, I get very hot, and I think I would really struggle. So I don't think I'll ever be able to do this.
No.
Who's it going to be? Darren from Knitting in Circles.
We love Darren.
And why is Darren one of the 3? He's one of the 3 because he's bought me a pattern.
He did. He gifted
Which
you
he gifted me a
pattern.
pattern. It's so sweet, and it looks really cool.
I've
And
not
I'm
even
going
looked
to
at
knit it.
I need to see it.
I'm going to knit it very soon. In fact, I will cast it on extremely soon, this week. So Darren, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciated it, and it is currently my one and only. So that's the end of what's on your needles. Please remember, you 3, Darren and Sarah and Ting Ting, to get over to the forum and post in the thread what's on your needles, because we want to see, don't we, everybody? But you know what it's time for now? Kay Jones, what's off your needles?
Yay! Right, I'll put that down. Okay, 2 things this week. The first one is a pair of socks.
Are they Jack socks?
They are Jack socks,
They're
and
lovely.
I forgot to put them on the little blockers that I made, but you can see them anyway. You can see the colours really well this week. Yeah, there's 2. One hiding behind the other. So I finished my Jack socks. I finished them, I think, the day after we podcasted last time, actually. So I've washed them, and I haven't worn them yet. I've kept them nice. It's been a bit warm, to be honest, for socks, hasn't it, just lately? There they are. Daniel Jones.
No.
Dan Jones, what's off your needles?
I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know. And sorry. Look at this.
Ta-da!
Oh my lord.
Do you want me to hold it up? Because
No.
I've got better light over here, I think.
That.
Move it across a bit.
It's lovely. Look at it.
It is lovely.
I mean, just.
It is. And put it on. Put it on. I did wash it, but it still smells of the wool wash that Deb used, I think. But I did give it a wash.
I have to meet Deb. When I meet Deb, I'm going to hold her for just that little bit too long. The pattern is
The pattern was
outstanding.
really great.
The decreases are amazing.
Yeah. It's got quite short decreases, hasn't it? I think it's 17 rows, but it worked out perfectly. Look. It's perfect. Yeah.
Kate Jones, what's off your needles?
Okay. Now, a few weeks ago in one of our forums, one of our members asked me if I'd ever knit a bakery bear from fingering weight yarn. And I thought I had. I said I had. But when I look back at it, it was actually this one, and it was this is a sport weight. And it does come out slightly smaller.
Slightly whoops.
It is slightly small, not that much smaller actually. That's a DK weight thinking about it. But it did come out slightly smaller. So I thought to myself, do you know what? I haven't ever knit a fingering weight one. And because Bryony had bought us, she'd chosen that yarn, I said, oh, maybe I'll have a go at doing a fingering weight yarn bear. And oh gosh, it came out so cute. So are you ready? Are you ready to see her? Ta-da! Look how tiny. Oh, hello. Look how tiny she is. And I get a normal size bear for comparison for you. Look. She's like half the size, I'd say. Oh my goodness.
She's amazing.
And that's them back to back now. Look. Bryony loves her. She wanted to take her to school for show and tell today because they have show and tell on a Friday, and I wouldn't let her.
No.
It's a podcast. I said, can't take it today. So I just use exactly the same pattern. This is the yarn that I showed you before, the Easy Knits. I used a tiny bit of Madeline Tosh Merino Light for the nose and the ears, and then this is Eden Cottage Yarns. I think it's Tempo. It's a sock yarn. 75-25 in that's the Blossom colourway. There she is. Hello. Oh, hang on. She's so cute. And look how cute she is. Look at a little belly striped. So if you ever fancy it, admittedly, I did it on 2.25 needles. Oh, they're not nice now, are they? 2.25 needles. And it's a tiny little thing, so, you've got to be prepared for it being a tiny little thing. But really, how cute. And I used a little button on the back that matched. It's a little fish. Can you see? And I actually seamed it all the way up. Just because I thought I don't think she's ever going to want to take the dress off. So I thought, I'll just seam it all the way up. And I didn't do shoes because Bryony said she wasn't really bothered about shoes. But then... when I'd done the dress and she was kind of finished, Bryony wanted her, so I said, oh, okay, then, I won't bother with the shoes, it's fine. So there she is, I love her. Da, da, da. She's so cute.
Yay!
Dan Jones, what's off your needles?
Thank you. Every time.
But it's not.
You haven't finished anything else.
But it's not off.
It is.
Right.
Just stop it, woman. Now, I'm going to show you something that I got into probably about 2 years ago. The models which are probably the most playable and also the best for girls or boys or...
Excuse me a second. Sorry, it's the man with the thing. Carry on.
She said carry on. Shall we carry on, folks? I think so. At last, the screen is all mine. Hello, everyone. So, what am I going to show you? I'm going to show you, and I mustn't drop this, the French restaurant. Look at this. This is the French restaurant, Chez Albert, or Chez Albert, and it's 3 stories. Look at the back there. There's a little porch there, and there's a bin, and there's a rat running by the bin, and then up here there's a balcony where people are eating food, and then there's an upstairs, and there's an artist who lives up here which you can open up and you can access the middle floor, which is a flat. And then down the bottom there's a kitchen over here with a chef, and then the restaurant proper over here. Then if you look around the front, you can see there, just on the front there's a waiter and there's someone having some food. You're going to love these. They're going on all the bags, aren't they?
Yes.
Which we're going to talk about in a minute.
We'll talk about the bags in a minute.
But we'll also put one of these, we'll put one of these on the prize-winning bag.
Yeah.
And also we'll put one of these in the bag for the bakery bear thingy.
Yeah.
So the prize. Check this out.
I ordered some badges. I just thought this might be fun. Look. Hang on. Oh, you can't. Can you see? Look.
It's a bakery bear badge.
There's a little bakery bear badge. How cute. And you can't quite see the writing.
Look at them.
Can't quite see the writing.
Look
Hang
at
on.
them. We have them.
Let's see if it'll focus.
My precious. My precious.
It's not quite focusing, but
Instagram
it says,
pictures.
Oh yeah, I'll Instagram it. Original hand knitted bears, bakery bears. It's got a little badge on. Oh, hang on.
That's so amazing.
How cute are they? But I'll maybe take a few to Yarndale. If you see me, grab me and I'll give you a badge.
No.
What?
Bakery Bear's picnic.
Oh yeah.
So you come along with your maid bakery bear.
Yes, and we'll give you a badge for the bear.
You have you bring some food, and we sit down. We have our picnic.
Yeah,
and you get a badge. Come
so
on.
Cute. Look at Jeffrey with his badge. The bags. I mean, I spoke about this briefly on the last episode, and people had asked me about the project bags that I make, and I said, I'd have a go at opening a little Etsy shop. Now I had full intentions of doing this up until yesterday afternoon. I'd sewn up some bags over the past couple of weeks, and actually even a couple of people had asked for particular fabrics beforehand, so I posted a couple out to a couple of people, so thank you for that, to Amelia and to Deb. And we sat down, didn't we, to set up the Etsy shop yesterday afternoon. And it just turned out to be a lot more work than I anticipated. And that, along with the fact that it's taken up much more time of my time the past couple of weeks. But at this moment in time, I just unfortunately don't have the capacity to do it on a regular basis, is what I'm saying.
Because if we were to do it, it would impact on podcasting time.
Yes, and I haven't got as much knitting in, because I've been sewing, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like I said, something had to give. But so for the time being, I won't be opening an Etsy shop. However,
drum roll,
I've got a stack of bags that are made, and I thought, well, will anybody want to buy this stack that I've made?
Bags
and I think
with badges.
Yeah, I'll put a badge on each of the bags. So what I thought I'd do is I've taken a little picture of each of the bags. I'll open a thread on the forums, and I'll just put project bags or something. And I'll put a picture up, and I'll put the size of the bag and the price. And if you want it, then whoever, nobody might want them, but if you're the first person to post on that picture of the one that you want, then I'll PM you on Ravelry, and I can PayPal you an invoice. So if you just, I'll send you a message and I'll say, can you just let me have your email address? I can PayPal you an invoice, and then, we can pay for it that way, and I'll ship it out to you and get your address, obviously. And like I say, nobody might want them. So anyway, that's what I'll do. I'll put up a little picture, the size of the bag, the cost. If you're the first person to post, I will message you on Ravelry, get your email address, PayPal you the invoice, and we'll sort it out. So I'll quickly run through the bags that I've got. So the first one I've done, there's a variety of different ones. First one is a drawstring with the little pilgrims, and then there's pumpkins on the inside. This one actually comes a little two set. I've done a tiny little notions pouch to match. So I'm doing this as a set. Trick or treat, Halloween, drawstring bag, coordinating fabric. And then the same one, but I've put a little tiny notions pouch.
He's got me! Sorry.
Little tiny notions pouch with that one. And then some wedge bags. Puppies. With a
nice puppies,
greeny sort of lining, and that's got a nice little wolfy, berry, I'm not sure what that is. It's a bear, I think, isn't it? Japanese, I think it's a coca fabric, this one. It's Japanese fabric with little things, and this has got a Japanese little squishy ring pull, and it's got coordinating sort of stripy pinkness.
He's mine. And I shall call him Squishy.
And then we've got a little sort of woodland one that's got a little owl. Camping, glamping, however you want to call it, with chevrons. And I did a sort of seasidey theme, British sort of seasidey theme, and I love this fabric. These ones are much bigger, you can see. So you'd easily get, you know, a big shawl or even a small sweater, I think, into there. And then the last one is another seaside one, and I love this fabric too. These are more like, it's like a canvas fabric, this one and the other big one. And it's got denim inside, like jean denim. You can't really see it. And the only thing is, I mean, you'll notice if you want one, I even see, I mean, this shows you that I was going to do it, because look, I even got labels, bakerybearscottage.etsy.com, and I've got the name, so, you know, I may, some point, I'm not saying no, like I said.
I think when time presents itself.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do what I said, they'll be going up. If you want them.
Get over there, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, I might do the same thing again at Christmas or something, but for the time being, you know, and I'm gonna, you know, I will be making bags, obviously, but not in volume at the moment. Sorry, folks.
I think it's time for favourite places to knit.
Gosh, have we not done that yet?
No.
It's a long episode,
and
folks.
What we've decided, as I said at the start of the episode, is we're going to get J.J. Abrams in to do our production for us. So now over to the new favourite places to knit, produced and directed by Mr. Abrams. Hello. Welcome to Favourite Places to Knit, and this is our new segment, probably of 3, which is going to be in some castles. And the first one that we're in is Brougham Castle, and I thought what would be nice to start off this new segment would be actually if we were actually knitting. Yay! And Kay's here too.
I'm here. Yeah. And it's chilly and it's raining a little bit, so.
It's a typically English
summer's day.
But it's very rude that I've got my glasses on.
Oh yeah.
So I shall take my glasses off so you can actually see
so
my
we're sat
face.
here in raincoats, knitting.
And where have we just been?
In the chilly breeze. We just went to Woolfest.
Which is like the English version of Rhinebeck.
Except it's nothing like Rhinebeck. It's much smaller, you know, probably 20 times smaller.
If you think of New York, and if you think of a city in England that's like New York, I would choose Cockermouth every time.
Yeah, it's set in a cattle market, so it's like indoor cattle sheds. And I went last year, and I wasn't going to go this year, but we decided just all to go. I went on a coach trip with my local yarn shop last year, and it was just a very long day, and I didn't really want to do that again this year because I had already been, but we decided just to go for a couple of hours, didn't we? And Bryony went with us.
And I went looking for high quality yarn like this.
He wants some more hand spun.
And did they have any? No, they didn't.
No, it was lots of just hand dyed.
Went round everywhere.
Yeah, lots of hand dyed things, and I only bought 3 skeins of yarn, and I'll show you them when I get back home. I've left them in the car, so very pretty though. But I just bought 3 skeins, and I bought a felted pin cushion, and it's in the shape of an apple. It's really cute, so I'll show you that as well.
And Bryony got some really lovely felted flowers, didn't she?
Yeah, a brooch, didn't you, Bryony?
Yes. Hello.
So Brougham Castle was built in around 1217, and it's a really important site because if you've seen Braveheart, then the reason why this is here is because of William Wallace, who was of course Braveheart. Edward the Longshanks, Edward I, whenever he used to go to Scotland, which he did, if you've seen the film Braveheart, a couple of times he goes up to fight the Scots, and he stopped here on the way. So I think we should go and have a little look around. That river and those mouldering towers have seen us side by side when, having clomb the darksome windings of a broken stair and crept along a ridge of fractured wall, now without trembling we in safety looked forth through some Gothic window's open space, and gathered with one mind a rich reward from the far-stretching landscape. What do you think of that?
That was lovely. Did you make that up?
That was Wordsworth. Look, we're here.
We're here.
Now, this, I think, is the most exciting bit of the Abbey because the Abbey?
The Abbey.
We're at castles now. I'm obsessed.
The castle.
This is the route that Edward the Longshanks followed when he came to visit the castle. So he came up here and look, do you see that in the corner?
Yeah.
That there is a toilet door.
I went in there.
Shall we have a look?
Go on then.
What are you doing? I'm in the toilet. Come up here and look. So what we have here is the castle's toilet. It's quite hard to see because it's so dark. I'll try and lighten this up. Hopefully you can see that a bit. But what you had though was a toilet with a view. So you could see still who was coming in. So great. And then straight down there is the drain. So castles were all about protecting and warding off enemies. The enemies here, of course, were Scottish. And if we look here, what we have is a small slit that you would use to fire arrows through. If we look straight down there, you can see if anyone started to come across the river, you'd have a really good spot to shoot them from here. So yeah, running off the sides there's all sorts of different things going on. And you went in, didn't you, and had a look?
We did. We went up those steps that you can see, well, you could see.
Look at that. Look at that window. Can you imagine looking down from there?
That'd be cool.
You'd be a little princess.
She's a little princess.
It's amazing. 3 stories high, and you see at the top there as well, you see where the floor was.
Yeah.
That's held up. How high was that?
Very high.
So Edward I would have come through here. He would have come past this little guard tower. Now that is abbey roofs, but it's in the castle.
Ah.
So in those abbeys, that's what would have been there. But the footage isn't very good here. It's a bit blurry, but you can see how much bigger we are now. You'll see now in a second. Look, it's really blurry. I'm like a head and shoulders above the height of the door.
Yeah, you'd have been an absolute giant.
Yeah, I know.
You?
You can see why they said we have giants.
They must have been about 5 feet tall.
Check this out, though. I think it's amazing. As you walk through here, you get the real feeling of what it would have liked, what it would have been like to arrive and come out into the courtyard. Now, what would it have been like? What do you reckon?
I've no idea, but that's me over there folding a blanket.
Should we imagine what it would have been like? Let's imagine. Let's try and go back in time. Our mind's eye will put it onto the screen.
Oh!
Look at that. There's Edward I. That's the keep, and that's the oldest part of the castle. It was built first. Previously, it had like wood all the way around the side. So it's like 1200 it was built.
So it would have been clad in wood?
No. A wooden wall around the outside of the
right.
castle. Look at the inside there. It's like 4 stories high.
It is.
Look at the balcony up there.
Fireplace up there.
I know. There's 5 places all the way around. It's so impressive. Look at the thickness of that wall. But of course, built to defend against the Scots.
Yep, need to.
Do you?
Well, they did.
They're nice people. We like the Scots. Look, you can see there as well. Look at those holes. You see up in the wall?
Uh-huh.
What do you think they were for?
Floors.
They were indeed holding up floors.
You see, I'm learning.
You are learning. It's very, very impressive. So that is, it was quite a late addition to the castle. Let's go and find out about it. This is the Tower of the Liege. It's the safest place in the castle because it's at the furthermost point from the gate. Now, if ever the castle got attacked, then the lord of the manor would come to this part of the castle, would go into the tower, and he would pretty much hide out in there. So let's go inside and take a look.
This is the safest place in the castle. If the place ever got attacked, this is where the Lord would come. This is the fireplace, and then look up, there's another one. Oh, wait, that was the second floor. This is graffiti, and every single visitor to the cave has written something on, and someone from 1887 had written that on. So.
Now, I've got to say, these are some of my most sort of treasured bits of looking around castles, because you see these in the majority of places that you go. It's graffiti.
Graffiti, you do. Ancient graffiti, isn't it?
And I don't know, I feel even more connected to the people who were looking around, seeing that, than some of the ruins. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it's mad.
So, you know, even back then, of course, they didn't have paint. They just had maybe a hammer and a chisel, and they chiselled in. And look at this name here. It's so cool. I wonder who this person was. C.J. Coleman?
Yeah.
I think that's 1842.
Oh, it could be it does look like 1642, but I don't think it can be, can it?
It's amazing, isn't it?
1842, yeah.
Now, outside, obviously, there's loads of different buildings that all were different bits of the castle, but you always find a church. Can you see the windows there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So links very closely to the abbeys. You can see it's obviously much more built up than abbeys are. And do you know why that is?
Because defensive, is it? No?
That's the staircase referenced in the Wordsworth poem.
Oh, cool.
That's so amazing, because he used to play around in the castle when he was growing up.
All right.
And yeah, that's the whole kitchen area and where they used to cook stuff. And you can see the church in the background, which we'll have a look at now. Look at this.
Wow.
So there's 2 floors. You can see the upper floor there. That's where the priests would have sat. There on the right-hand side. And you can see the floor level. And there's the changing room.
Oh, right.
Which I went into. And I love castles, as we said a minute ago, because they weren't dissolved, got rid of. You can see much more of it. So
more
here,
complete, aren't they?
Yeah. This is where the priest would have got changed prior to any services.
It's a tiny little space.
Doesn't need much for his vestments. Oh no. So yeah, I love looking at those bits in particular. But yeah, the brick. It's very red, isn't it?
It's very red, yeah. I said to you, didn't I, when we were there, I don't know what stone it is. Would it be sandstone? I don't know.
Or is that iron?
Well, you would think red, yeah.
Because the river's really close by there.
Yeah,
look at that house in the background.
And that house has got very red
very
brick,
posh.
hasn't it? It was very posh.
Now, obviously, round the outside, massive walls and a great big moat. But then the far side of the moat, we've got the sheep.
Lots of sheep. There was loads, weren't there?
Yeah, there you are.
There I am.
Working with Bryony.
Yep.
Going to look for all the outer walls, but there was one little bit that Bryony really, really wanted to see. Can you remember what that was?
Where the poo came out.
The poop chute.
The poop chute.
Yes. Are you ready for the poop chute?
Yeah.
It's coming. Here she is. There it is.
That one in the middle, the square.
That's it. And I sat on that the other side.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't actually do anything.
Well, I'm grateful for that.
But Bryony wanted to say something, so here she is.
Oh.
This is the bed. You could swim in it, but there's no water. And I really want to swim in it, but the problem is there would be horse poo, and that would be disgusting. Maybe some human poo.
What I love about castles is the things that you can see that you can't in the abbeys. Because they weren't dissolved, they were in use for much longer. You still see things like this, which used to hold the floor up. And then if you look right up there, you can see the line that used to have the actual roof of this particular part of the castle. And this bit of the castle was where the soldiers used to sleep. Superb camera right there by Bryony.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
That's an old Roman settlement.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Because of the closeness of the river, Romans were the first to build here. And look, there's
right.
Yeah, that's a Roman tombstone.
There was a house, wasn't there, just as we were driving in, that had got a Roman name.
Yes, yeah. Bravacium or something.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, so it's been a settlement for a long time. Very cool. So, I think as we're here on location, and it's such a special day, it's time for an extra special and an extra. Kay Jones, what's on your knees?
I wasn't expecting that, you fool. It's just Dan's sock, that's all it is.
Well, it's not literally my sock, is it? Because my sock is on my foot.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. It's the sock I am knitting for you.
And the wool is?
Opal.
Nice, and it is by?
Opal.
Sorry, what type of wool is it?
It's It's opal sock yarn.
Yeah, but what is the colourway?
It's the Van Gogh series, and it's the Bedroom in Arles.
Now it's interesting. I do remember the Bedroom in Arles, and I'm still. Who knows? When we cut back to the studio, I may be showing you this finished.
Yeah, I think so.
The wonders of television. That'd be marvellous for me. So yeah, I'm loving making this. It's it's handbrake, isn't it? That's the pattern is called handbrake, isn't it? What's it called?
break.
Right.
It's really not.
It's actually called Bankhead. Handbrake.
You were thinking of handspun.
Yes,
And
that's it.
Bankhead, except it's not a combination.
I married the two together. Yeah. Are you with me? Are you with me, aren't you, folks? So yeah, I'm still working on this, but hopefully I'll have finished it. Now it's interesting you mentioned Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, as we would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This castle has inspired quite a few really famous artists and poets. Probably the most famous poet that it inspired was Wordsworth, who wrote a poem all about this castle. So yeah, it's a really lovely place, and it is. If it was just a little bit warmer,
It's freezing.
it would be. Well, it's hardly freezing, is it?
It's quite chilly.
Freezing.
It's probably about, I would guess, it's maybe 12 or 13 degrees C.
Yeah.
I would guess, if I was going to guess.
Gotta get my
And
woolens on.
Well, I've got crop trousers on as well, with no socks, and I'm very chilly.
Okay. So, you asked me a good question a minute ago.
I did, I said, so we were sat here, and I said, what would it have looked like if we were sat here in the heyday of the castle?
Well, what it would have looked like was, we'll have already taken you through the inner gatehouse, the outer gatehouse and the courtyard. But around this area there would have been lots and lots of soldiers, and the soldiers would have been just seeing who was coming in, making sure that everything was okay, going about their business. The horses would have been looked after here and then taken over to the stables over there. There also would have been priests coming and going because there was a church just over there. The smell would have been pretty awful because there would have been obviously...
Still is.
Yeah, there would have been horse poo, so there would have been manure smell. There would have been tannery going on, so that's where they use wee, don't they?
Tanneries are awful places.
What do they do?
Yeah,
they use the wee to do what?
To cure the leather
Yeah.
in some way. Yeah, I'm sure they did.
But just picking up on our previous favourite places to knit, monasteries also used to smell really bad because of the tannery, because in every monastery there was a tannery. So here, just the same, would have been a lot of tanning going on, so really bad smells there. And then, of course, lots of decay as well. Things on the outside of the castle would be smelling quite bad. They normally threw food over the wall and all sorts down into the river that's running around the outside, so the smell would have been terrible, but really bustly, quite an exciting place, I would guess. Very different from today. It's very quiet.
Very quiet.
Just hear the birds. We saw a heron earlier on,
Yeah.
which was really pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably us done. Back to us.
I'm going to go in the car now.
Back to us in the studio.
How was that? What did you think? Feedback, please, always welcome. I really enjoyed putting that together. We both did.
It's great fun. Bryony loved it as well. She was desperate to be on it, wasn't she?
So, we'll do two more similar to that. Two more castles, and then we shall move. How many episodes do we have before we go to Chatsworth?
Just one more.
Okay.
No, hang on.
Was it two?
Oh, hang on. We go to Chatsworth 4 weeks today, so we'd normally be recording on the day we go to Chatsworth.
Right.
So we'll have to do it on the Thursday again, won't we?
Yeah, but I can make it go live on the Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next one we do in 2 weeks' time, we're going to record on the Thursday because Bryony breaks up for summer on the Thursday, so she's at home on 2 weeks today on the Friday. So it's easier for us just to do it on the Thursday.
But I'll push the button on the Friday.
Yeah, so you won't see any difference.
So it'll be Friday morning. I'll push the button.
So we'll do the same thing the following week. We'll record on the Thursday, the day before we go away. But then, will you put it out on the Friday then?
I will press the button on the Friday morning again.
Before we go.
Yeah,
yes.
it will always be Friday.
Yes.
Bi-weekly on a Friday.
And then we're away for just a week, so we'll be back for the following. So that's fine.
With some rather special footage.
Yes.
Oh yes.
We're
Be
very
excited.
We're very.
You can be excited with us
Yeah.
because we shall film and
We will.
create some really exciting,
I'll
cool things.
Instagram a billion pictures like I do.
There will also be a Lego project because there always is on
There always
holiday.
is, and I need to arrange that.
Big Lego project. No, you don't, because we get it on the way at the Lego shop.
I normally get a surprise, which
Oh.
is obviously not a surprise because I've just said it now.
Ruined.
Ruined.
Okay, surprise and a Lego shop purchase.
Yep.
Happy with both of those. So please remember,
Sarah, Darren, Ting Ting, get over to the forum, show us what's on your needles. Also, Bears in the Wild competition.
Yep.
Still got time to enter. Great prize with badge. New competition, but not starting until August.
Yeah.
But get your thinking caps on. Get over to the Knitting Dead podcast and get involved with her Christmas in July. And I think that's it. But you have a question.
I've just got a question. I haven't got a pair of socks on the needles for me at the minute. And I was looking through my stash thinking, what shall I cast on? I quite fancy those zigzagular stocks, you know, that seem to be popular at the minute. So I might do that. But I've got a few yarn choices. And I just wondered what people thought I should cast on. Right, the first one is a Fine Fish Yarns. And this is called Roller Disco. I love this one. It's grey with like pinks and blues. And it's got sparkle in. So that's the first one. The second one, I've had this for a few months actually. This is the Knitting Goddess. Sock yarn, merino nylon, and this is in the colour Parakeet. Oh, I love that. Look at that with the colours. And then the last one is that one with the cotton in that I just mentioned. It's Fortissimo. It's Scholler and Stahl. I should do it in a German accent like Molly, shouldn't I?
Ah, Molly.
Molly.
You didn't go over to the forum.
She did. She's not been.
You've not posted.
She's not done a podcast, has she? I wonder if she's not well.
Well, we hope you're okay, Molly, but please get over to the What's on Your Needles, because I challenged you and you haven't shown us. You naughty girl.
It's Scholler and
Naughty
Stahl.
Molly. Scholler and Stahl.
Fortissimo. And this is one that it's got cotton in and it's got something that makes it stretchy. So that's the other one I've got. So what do you think, people? What do you think? Let me know.
A, B, or C.
What do you think? And whatever is the, you know, the biggest sort of winner, I'll cast on.
Excellent.
Da, da, da.
Before we go, a final little thank you to all of you. And you especially. And you. And you as well. Overwhelming is beyond... Well, it's not even enough of a word for... It's just nuts, the amount of amazing messages we have, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. Kay doesn't seem bothered, but...
We're heading up to 500 members actually on the Ravelry group.
600 subscribers on YouTube.
It's just crazy.
We expected nothing.
2.
We started this
I expected
to do just something nice to do together as a one-off.
Yeah.
And then
totally
suddenly
was.
we're 5 episodes in. And we love it, and we love
really enjoy it, don't
spending
we?
time with all of you. We love the friends that we've made. Please, engage with us on Instagram and on Ravelry, and we're on Twitter as well.
I don't
Bakery
Twitter much,
Bears, but it's there. There's a Facebook page. Please do engage with us. If you see us, please come up and talk to us. You may get a badge. Thank you so much. It means so much to both of us. And I think it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
The time has come to say good night. Lovely.
If people watch CBeebies, they'll get that. Thank you everybody, and I hope you understand about the bags. It's been on my mind a lot, and I've been, worried because I thought I made a commitment that I was going to do it, and I like to see things through. But anyway, I hope you understand. So
we don't want to put any pressure on our podcasting time.
No, we don't.
Because we love spending time with all of you.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we made that decision. But there's some there, so get over there. Get over to the forum. And then she'll do some more at some point.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have fun knitting. Bye.